Welcome to Brawlhalla.
Rectify Stingray versus Cosolix. I forgot how to spell for a second. There we go. All right. BO5. Yeah, this is losers semifinals. All right, let's go ahead and reset the scores here, and let's go ahead and see what is going on. Let's go over to our tournament overlay.
We have the signature picks coming from both players here. That Asuri working really well for Stingray this time around, especially those guitars. And then we do see Cosolix, a very good balance between his axe and his lance, doing a lot of the work this time around. Again, both of these players came back in back-to-back 2-0 matches to finally face off each other. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to come on top here and possibly have the chance to come back to fame and go into finals. It's going to be a very big game for both of these players, but so is their damage. Both of them being very evenly matched here, both in the orange. We're going to see who's going to be able to find that first kill confirm, especially in a small map like this.
Yeah, and right now it seems like Stingray is staying with that Azuri, and I think, honestly, that's a good pick for right now, at least for this first round, to see how it does against Cosolix, and it seems to be working out well. Stingray with that knockout on Cosolix's first stock, so very nice job coming out of them. And it seems like they're starting to weapon grab a little bit, trying to weapon starve Cosolix a little bit, knocking him into the orange. Stingray with that sword combo, going to go ahead and lead into a possible sword combo nair, into a backdash side stick possibly. There's a sword combo instead. And it's going to go ahead and lead into some type of Sair. It's going to be Sair coming out Cosolix with that lance in that range. Misses the second one though instead. And that leads to Stingray getting knocked out of that first stock. And Cosolix with a big disadvantage right now.
Indeed, indeed. Hopefully Cosolix can make something work out with that range, but again, there really isn't a lot of moves for him to protect himself as he holds onto his lance, especially with two weapons as quick as a sword and the guitars. It's going to be very easy for him to counter that lance of Cosolix. And that nice falling recovery is going to be picking Cosolix up and throwing him into Brawlhalla heaven, as he's going to be now taken to that final stock.
I just need to have a soundbite for that now, whenever that makes sense. Welcome to Brawlhalla, smack. That being said, right now Stingray doing pretty good, having that one stock lead. And yeah, I mean, it seems to be really working out against Cosolix's lance. Having that close range gameplay seems to be very vital.
Indeed, indeed. And Cosolix is just trying to change up his movement this time when grounded. But nice, beautiful side air jump, side air, finding that follow-up to finally get that kill, but he is going to be again in a damage deficit already in the orange. And of course, for weapons like the sword and the guitars, that's basically kill range for anything that is a gimp weapon, such as those two. Let's see if Stingray is going to be able to convert it into a final stock kill.
Yeah, it seems like Stingray is starting to lose his advantage that he had. You can see a double neutral coming on Cosolix, but Stingray missing those Sairs. Didn't go close enough, and he's got to be careful, but does still land that sword combo, knock out Cosolix of that last stock, and get himself a point to his name. And he strings his harp, and says, "Welcome to Brawlhalla," smack, and knocks out that last stock. But we're going to go ahead and get into round two here between Cosolix and Stingray. And we'll have to see what really goes on.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Both players sticking to their same legend picks this time around. And it looks like Cosolix doing a little bit of work unarmed and now finally arming himself with his beloved lance. And we do see Stingray having a little bit of difficulties now trying to get away from the finger. And it looks like he's going to find a neutral sig that will be taking off the stock 20 seconds into the round.
I like the analogy that you used as well with the finger. But yeah, it does seem like Cosolix did do a very, very good, quick knockout on Stingray. But Stingray also rebuttals there a little bit. Oh, that was a very nice knockout coming out of Stingray. They're not playing anymore, chat. They're not messing with the finger. They're messing around in a legit battle in a 1v1 matchup. Cosolix doing really, really well in regarding with this matchup so far, having a half stock lead. But my God.
Really doing a lot of work here with the lance. It's starting to come out there. That Algrim pick, as always. He hasn't switched to the Scarlet for quite a bit here. It looks like the Algrim is going to be something he's going to be sticking on to, and I'm very happy that he has been, especially with those kinds of signatures. But what's really interesting, especially for Cosolix's gameplay, you don't typically see those signatures come out as often as when he picks Scarlet, and you get to really see all these strings, all these beautiful reads, but Stingray still able to really answer back and say, man, I got you in that damage department. Watch me do a few of these strings, watch me get into position, find those falling nairs, and finally find those recoveries possibly to take a stock. But Stingray is going to do his best here to find that kill option, but Cosolix utilizing those step backs, trying to find those neutralites and those nice quick grounded nairs, and finally the kill with a 2-0 in Cosolix's favor.
Yeah, very nice job coming out of Cosolix here. Now going into round 3. Well, chat's being a little bit sus. If you guys can cool down a little bit, I appreciate it. But that being said, let's go ahead and get in round 3 here. All right, but right now, same characters. We have Cosolix with the Algrim. We have Stingray with the Azuri. And let's see what really is going on here in this next round.
Cosolix with those dashes. He does a lot of these step in, step out kind of movements, which is actually very, very interesting. And then he kind of chooses a move, dialing in, depending on the distance of where he last was, just doing his best to really find where to really position his legend. But as you can see here, it looks like both players are very evenly matched, with Stingray coming a little bit on top here in terms of the damage, making use of those very close-ranged move sets from the Katars. But Cosolix really slowly but surely trying to fish Stingray off into the edge, because he really definitely wants to close the gap and the stock as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, and Stingray with that down signature knockout with those guitars, and Downsling's been catching a little bit of a good group of people off guard. We saw against Webs when Stingray went against them, and that Downsig read a few times and got a lot of those knockouts. So hopefully we see a little bit of an advantage there that Stingray could take advantage of, and we'll have to see what Cosolix can really do to go ahead and counter that. Good lord, and right now Stingray with a whole 1-stock lead. Going crazy.
For sure. And Cosolix answering back, finding a recovery finally with his lance. But he is going to be basically almost finished off on his second stock here if Stingray is going to be able to find some kind of confirm. But using that cider to force him off the stage, not being a little bit aggressive here, and then finally finding a signature to close the stock, and it is going to be untouched in his second stock as Cosolix is now led into his final.
Yeah, and right now Stingray having that insane stock lead. It's going to depend. I mean, we've seen Cosolix come back from reverse 3 stocks, like doing a reverse 3 stock on people, but to do it against Stingray and his guitar is going to be a real pain in the ass overall, so we'll have to see what he can really do. And he used to do a lot of nair attacks that would catch a lot of people off guard, but it seems like it's not really working out because Stingray's staying on the platform. So Cosolix has to be a little bit more creative against the guitars on platform and see what he can really do.
Agreed. And Cosolix, because of this, like you've mentioned, it makes it really hard for him to find those weapon tosses. It sadly did lead to him being unarmed here into this position where Stingray's going to be able to effectively weapon starve him. And it looks like he's slowly but surely bringing that damage. And the reads, a downlight, dodging downward, finding the downlight again into a recovery, the other way around, taking the second set, or the third set.
Yeah, he's taking the third round in there and getting himself a point. But right now, yeah, like you're saying, I mean, if Stingray does get this next round, he's going to go ahead and win this entire set and advance into losers finals, which I believe, by the way, currently is going to be Santi. So Cosolix needs to go ahead and try to go ahead and beat Stingray. Now, keep in mind, it's his first and second seed going against each other. So Cosolix needs to pop off right away if he wants to go ahead and win this round. He's already got Stingray in the orange. And I guess this map's going to help him out a little bit, I guess. Because he can knock off the bottom pretty quickly. We know him for doing a lot more ground pound knockouts as well. But it's also going to prevent him from doing that neutral air signature knockout. It lands that there, knocks out Stingray's first stock. And that's a very good job coming out of Cosolix.
Indeed, these changes of the maps to help possibly make their weapons shine and their strengths a lot more stronger is going to be very important. And as you can see here, Stingray just doing what he can with the guitars, doing very, very good to protect the edge, trying to weapon starve Cosolix, but Cosolix with that side light to pick up his lance, he's going to try to see if he can try to rack a little bit more damage and continue to hold on to this lead, but Stingray having a little bit of difficulties trying to find this kill here, not trying to over-aggress. And finally, the signature knockout for him is going to go, and he is going to be only in the deep yellow as Cosolix leads into his second stock.
Yeah, it's 2-on-2 right now. I mean, if Stingray wants to make this go BO5, he probably will. But, I mean, Cosolix also someone that he doesn't really want to lose to here. He doesn't want to be all stressed out in the final round and go right into Santi. So, we'll have to see what he can really do. Silent, neutral light leading into I believe, a falling Sare. And right now, Cosolix with the lance. He's being really aggressive right now, it seems, but it's coming down to who can really read the other player more than anything.
Definitely, indeed, in both players.
Oh!
Finding that beautiful signature coming out of the Asuri of Stingray to find a kill onto Cosolix. Really good choice there off the stage, trying to get that nice, beautiful spike off of it. As you can see here, too, they're kind of slowing down the pace. Both of them are dodging, weaving in and out, especially during neutral game here. Both of them respecting each other. This is going to be not a close game in Cosolix's perspective, but still, again, finding those double recoveries. Cosolix is still showing that he is in it, and in it to win it. He isn't going to be letting go so easily.
Yeah, and right now, Stingray with that whole one-stock lead. Cosolix needs to pull something off if he wants to go ahead and win this round. He needs to land some type of Sare, some type of knockout. Oh, but Stingray with that Sare. Oh, maybe knocking themselves out. And Cosolix with that ground pound knockout leads into a last stock matchup here. Right now, Cosolix messing around a little bit. Oh.
Really good job from both players. Cosolix doing a very good job as well, trying to hold on to his final stock already in the deep red. And it looks like Stingray is going to try to find something, hopefully a signature coming out of him, but then getting canceled by the side light nair. Is it going to be a signature or recovery that will be taking out Cosolix's final stock? But he has to think very quick as he leads also into the deep orange.
Yeah, and Stingray right now going ahead and taking this set 3-1. Congratulations there. Two Stingrays. Going to pop that up on replay for you guys really quick. Oh, maybe I shouldn't queue it first. That might be also a good thing. Queue, bop, 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 bop. All right, there we go. This is the matchup that just recently happened. Stingray doing really well with that Azuri against Cosolix's Ulgrim, and turns out very, very well for them. Congratulations to Stingray on advancing.